The events are horrific. Every time I talk about it, I almost get emotional about it because they are they are humanity at its absolute worst. The acts that were perpetrated against totally innocent men, women and children. But the point was that they were egged on by the state, and not just the state, they were egged on particularly by the Congress Party. And of course, this is the context of, it was just after the assassination of Indira Gandhi. And so that was used as the catalytic event, essentially, to turn as many Indians against the Sikh population. Much of this was actually organised. Some even argue it was almost organised in advance, and some people even claim it was related to Operation Shanti, but that's a different discussion. But it was the fact that that people, these mobs, weren't just randomly collecting together in the streets. They were actually being bussed into areas. People were collected and brought together, then put on buses and then sent to areas where the Sikh community lived. And they were actually handed out address lists of where Sikh families live. So again, all organised. And at the time, cars were seen that belonged to officials of the Congress Party. So again, it implies that the Congress Party, or at least elements of the Congress Party, were deeply entrenched in this act, in this genocide. They first of all perpetrated it, and they encouraged it, and they ensured it then went ahead and targeted the people that they wanted to target. So the Congress Party has a deep, dark, crimson stain bled all over it from these events. Which then leads on to the legacy of these events. What is the legacy of these massacres? Well, Rahul Gandhi still sits at a very senior position in Indian politics. It was his grandmother's assassination that triggered this genocide, and his grandmother's assassination was as a result of at least Operation Blue Star, the attack on the Golden Temple, the Harmandir Sahib. But it was, of course, for Operation Shanti. Now, Rahul Gandhi, the grandson of Indira Gandhi, is in a very powerful position here, a very influential position, and a really key position. He could change the course of Indian politics here. All he needs to do is apologise. He just needs to apologise for the acts of the Congress Party, because, of course, he sits at the top of the Congress Party, this party that was behind a lot of this massacre, that was perpetrated, that encouraged the mobs on. So he could actually stand up publicly and apologise. Also, in terms of justice, justice delayed is justice denied. And again, this comes back to the Indian state. So it's not just the Congress Party and the Indian state. It is the actual Indian state itself that holds a complicit hand of guilt in these acts. Because even today, many of the guilty